another episode of Canada on the Rocks. I am your host, Pt2, and today we're joined by one of Ottawa's general services contractor, specifically around landscaping, Dylan Lepine, and it's Dylan General Services.
Dylan's General Services.
Perfect. So, what are some of the when we're looking at, for example, I have a small yard that I'm trying to get you guys in to do some work and this and that, and we come up with the vision, the plan. How do we come up with for you? Like, how do you come up with the budget and then this and that? Like, is that something that you like? If I don't know, you know what I mean? Like, what? How do I can I use you as a guide?
Exactly. We love to do that. Even for free, man. People all the time call us, contact me just for advice on what they would think it would cost to do something in their backyard.
Mm-hmm.
And I take my time and I call them. I say, "What are you looking to have done? A walkway? You want some river rock, sod? Because all these things are different prices. River rock's not that expensive, but interlock pavers are pretty expensive, So all depends. And I'll tell them, well, it depends on your budget. Concrete slabs are a little cheaper than interlock pavers, but they're maybe not as appealing depending on who you are.
Correct.
So we help them we just try to
So it's
narrow it
really
down.
more like, okay, let's just figure out the vision, see the budget. Great, the budget and the vision work. But if they don't work, okay, maybe we'll just work a little bit more
Yeah.
on the budget, trying to find you something else that works.
Exactly. Or lots of times they'll come to us with an idea and they'll want a price, and what I always try to do is break it down as best as I can. So say if they want like a concrete slab and a walkway and they want sod laid, I'll do like each breakdown. I'll do the sod price, and then I'll do the slab price and then the walkway price. So if they want to pick just one, and then do one later or next season, it kind of accommodates for that, so they can do it in steps.
So what are again, if someone is looking at I'm gonna say an average small townhouse, a couple of bedrooms and this and that,
Yes, sir.
and they're looking at setting up a really nice front yard, backyard, what are some the sort of budgets that they should look into for landscaping?
Okay, so if you have a brand new home, that's where you're talking, kind of just moved in type thing.
Yeah, let's say the builder just gave you the green light. Okay, that 1 year is done. You can go ahead and do whatever you want. Because normally for the first year, you're not allowed to put any fences. You're not allowed to do any of that, because just in case if they want to come in. But that's done. First year is done. They've given you the go ahead, given you the thumbs up. What sort of budgets should you look into to put a nice front yard and a backyard?
Yeah, so you can probably guess landscape projects are pretty costly.
Yeah.
But the thing is, they bring the property value up in the end. So if you have a brand new home, if you're trying to do a driveway, say interlock driveway, those are very costly.
Mm-hmm.
They're going to be probably $10,000 to $20,000, but it's probably going to bring your property value up $50,000. You ever see a nice interlock driveway? They're beautiful.
It's also, it's that first impression too. Like for us, it's the biggest thing when we pull up to a driveway and you just take a look and you're like, whoa.
And it stands out.
Like it's already, you feel at ease. You're coming into the house. You already feel like you're home.
Yep.
In a way. So let's just say, moderate. It doesn't have to be something extravagant. Small little couple of trees, shrubs, that kind of stuff.
Yeah, small little.
With a little bit of driveway, 15, 20,000 maybe.
Yeah.
Is that fair to say?
Yeah. So even if you want even something small, say like a walkway, maybe 10 by 5 or something, that's probably going to cost you about $5,000. 10 by 5 walkway, foot traffic, not vehicle traffic. So driveway, it's about 15, 20K. Small walkway, maybe about 5,000. If you're just trying to have a little pruning and stuff done, and then some lawn care, it might just cost you a couple $100.
Mm-hmm. So it really all depends on just the visual, what you want it to look like, how much you want to spend, and you can go from 15, 20 all the way to a couple hundred.
Even mulch. I don't know if you are a fan of mulch. There's a bunch of different colors. I'm a big fan. It's beautiful, but this can add a lot of appeal to your yard, and it's actually very affordable. Maybe $100 a yard, and this will just wheelbarrow it in your yard, install it, make it look beautiful, and it's very appealing and very low cost.
Very low cost. It's a bit messy, but very low cost.
A little bit messy.
Yeah. You do really have to kind of keep track of it, because it's a little bit of wind that just kind of blows it all out.
Very true. Very true.
You got to put it back, but it does look fantastic. I mean, nice red mulch coming in with a bunch of colorful little shrubs and stuff like that.
We get a lot of clients that love mulch. We get a lot of mulch jobs actually.
Yeah. So what's next for you guys? Like, you've been doing this now for 3 years. What are you thinking? Like, how big of a crew you want to have in the next couple of
Yes,
years?
that's a great question. So we're hoping to have, right now, there's me. I have two guys, Paul and Shaquem. I have my wife, Christine. So that's four. We're hoping to have another crew. Or from what I hear, two crews can do a lot of damage.
Mhm.
So that would be one thing, is to get another crew. But the hardest thing is obviously finding good people,
Yeah.
because
Yeah.
we're about like honesty and integrity. We treat people right, and that's the hardest thing. There's a lot of people out there that can do the job, but I want to be able to leave people there and be able to trust they're going to treat the client right.
Yeah.
So
And that's the thing.
I've had a hard enough time finding the guys I've had now to treat the customers right. So
Client satisfaction is a big thing for sure. And then not only that, it's just like when you add to it is just that, like, that willing to work, because not everybody nowadays is willing to work, unfortunately. Not everybody wants to do labor work specifically. Let's say we're having a ton of issues with trades and what have you, to just like be able to secure somebody that's
100%.
reliable, honest, want to work, want to show up, that kind of stuff. So that, for you guys, it makes it a lot harder, I think, like to be able to expand and have a bigger crew and kind of build on it. But not only that, also find somebody that's reliable.
yeah,
You know what I mean? Like, it's one thing to find just bodies that want to work. It's another to find bodies that want to work and also got great customer service and fantastic sort of support and everything like that. So just, again, that's basically, I think, where it comes down to.
it's a
Um,
huge thing.
So mostly, you did say you live around Beechwood area, so most of your work is East End, and but you're fine going kind of all
Oh yeah.
across. What's the biggest drawback that you find? Like, the biggest thing that you find with your work that kind of slows you down a little bit?
Good question, man. So honestly, are not completely booked for the summers yet. Like, we still have openings. Like right now, we're a little slow. Obviously, it's pretty normal for this time of season, considering it's about to start snowing.
Yeah.
But I'd rather be booked up all season. You know what I mean? So, matter of just booking more jobs, getting our name out more, just helping more people.
Mhm. And I find with a lot of the businesses that sit in your seat, when we were talking about, in general, just talking about like how the business, how are things going, all of that, the biggest hurdle I find in a lot of the businesses is just like that ability to get their name out and make more sales.
Oh yeah,
in general. How do you find that for you guys?
it's hard, but we just I stay up late, get up early. I'm always working on talking to someone, just trying to get the name out,
Putting quotes
helping
out, yeah.
people, and always message people, man, and just see how I can help them, and then maybe they remember me one day.
Yeah. The biggest thing, like, I find, I keep saying this, I say it to my team members all the time as well too. It's always about just being able to get in front of the client.
Yeah,
The more you have FaceTime with the client, the better it is for you to get more clients.
100%.
Nobody's
I
gonna
FaceTime my
buy.
clients all the time,
That's it.
all the
And
time.
like, when I say FaceTime, I mean, like, I don't literally just mean FaceTime.
You're
I mean,
right.
like, you're actually having that time face to face with the
Yep.
client, whether it's FaceTime or Zoom
In
or in
person,
front of
door to
them.
door.
But it's just having that conversation,
Yes,
right? Where, like, essentially you can't sell anything if you don't have that interaction with the client. I mean, as
100%,
much as
man.
people are like, oh, I'll just do it over text. It's not the same.
Yeah, good luck.
They still need to see you face to face. They still need to talk
Yeah,
to you.
you
They
might
still,
get some work like that, right?
but
Trust
you've
me.
had to have a meeting with them
Yes,
first. You've had to earn that respect and that trust from you first to
100%.
be able to say, oh yeah, I know this guy Dylan. Yeah, he came in, and oh yeah, he's actually pretty good. He's got a great smile.
Yeah, he calls
That,
me.
but that's the start. Like, being in front of that client is the biggest start. So that's actually the biggest advice that I give a lot of the businesses. Like, look, your first sort of issue is that you're not meeting enough people.
Yes, I completely
The
agree.
more people you meet, the more sales you make. The more sales you make, the more satisfaction you're gonna have. The more things, projects, all of that's gonna
100%.
open up.
Completely agree
So
with
just
you.
show up, like, really just show up and
Show up every
kind of
day.
be there for
Never
the
give
client.
up.
So what do you prefer more? Like, obviously you guys do both landscaping and you do snow removal. What's, if you had to pick, like, let's just say, gun to your head, you got to pick one or the other. Which one would you
Oh,
pick?
landscaping all day for sure.
Why?
Oh, you don't really see the transformation with snow removal. Yeah, you make the customer happy, you remove their snow, but you don't see when I see the customer is so happy when I
Yeah.
transform their yard, and
It's really just moving one pile from one
Yeah,
side
yeah,
to another.
exactly.
So it's not a huge
I love
transformation.
seeing you see a kind of like an ugly yard, and then you see when we're done, and you think it's a beautiful yard, and the
Hmm.
customers thinks the same. You know, that's what I like. I like to
It's that
see
before and
them
after
happy
for
from
you,
it.
yeah. So what got you so turned on to being a landscaper?
So I had to use my abilities to my benefit, obviously. So I had doing landscaping for a long time. I knew I liked people. I knew that doing landscaping, you meet a lot of people. I could help people, and I can also do what I love,
Mhm.
landscaping. So it was kind of like a win-win for me. I was like,
And you're out in the sun, you're talking to people, enjoying your, vitamin D out there for
hello,
sure.
you're working out, you're enjoying the sun all the time.
Amazing.
I work hard. I like doing hard work. I love it. I love I love staying for 12-hour days, working hard, and I feel good afterwards. So
Yeah. And for a lot of landscaping, I find it's an art. Like, you're done and you look at it as like a piece of art. It looks
that's
really
exactly
gorgeous.
that's it.
And again, for a fact you just help somebody with their value of their house. Like it used to be, for example, let's say this house was worth 500. Now all of a sudden it's like 530, 540, 550,
Exactly.
just because of that sort of, you came in and like that really great sort of first impression that you put on.
Exactly.
For you guys, like, tell me a little bit more about how do you go about choosing the client? So the client, a lot of times, obviously, just like the client is choosing you, you're choosing them too.
Mhm.
How do you go about choosing a client? Or like, is there a situation where you're like, I don't want to work with this person?
Uh, there is. We want to help as much people as we can, but we want to help people that will appreciate the work as well.
Hmm.
If like I said, we don't want to do work for someone if the result's good and they're still going to give us a bad 1 star. You know what I mean? Type thing. There's
Yeah,
people
and,
out
and
there.
sometimes it's just like the personalities don't mesh, right? Like it's just like
Exactly. That's exactly what I mean.
at the end of the day, like we're just not gonna see eye to
Exactly.
eye.
We try to. I want to help good people. Honestly, if I think you're a bad person, I'll probably just not want to work with you just because I'd rather. Not because I don't want to help you, but I'd rather just who you are around matters, you know. So
Hmm.
I'd rather. If I think you're a bad person, I feel you're doing bad things. I
Yeah.
guess we'll go to someone that we feel it has better, morals,
Well,
ethics.
that's the thing too. Like it's easier to work with somebody that you like and trust, and they like you and trust you too. It
Exactly.
makes it a little bit
For
simpler.
sure.
Um, if you have to pick between like a favorite job that you would want to do more of, what would that look like?
Probably this type of thing, man. I'm gonna see you doing more podcasts.
Podcast. Well, that's not really doing landscaping though. Like it's totally different. But
Percent. I'd be doing interlock all day. Pavers.
interlock.
Yeah.
And now is that because it's a little bit more profitable, or is it because just the way it looks? Like, what is it exactly that you like about that particular job?
So I have so much experience doing the pavers that I'm just so confident in it.
Hmm.
Of course, there's the little bit of it's more there's more profit margin also. There's a couple of reasons, So
Yeah,
that's one of them. Both are
and it's a little bit more artsy. Like you come off
it
and you're like,
is.
okay, this was wonderful.
It
Done a
is.
great job.
I love them.
Give yourself a pat on the back for that. Sick. Let's do it again. So, with that being said, I just wanted to kind of leave the audience on like a good note as far as landscaping is concerned and also snow removal.
Of course.
What's the best time for anybody to get snow removal booked in for the season? And
Mhm.
what's the best time for anybody to also get a landscaping booked for the season
Yeah, that's great. So normally, like right now, we're all booked. We're not even taking on any more contracts.
for snow removal?
No, we'll be doing on demand still,
Mhm.
residential on demand walkways and stuff.
So what you're saying is if I'm going to book for snow removal with you guys, I would want to probably try to book somewhere at the end of the season
Yeah, even
of last
August.
year.
Yeah. Well, yeah, the sooner the
Yeah,
better. Because honestly, my last contract I booked was maybe last month, and I was done. We were fully booked.
that's it.
Yeah.
And what about landscaping? Like if I want to book for next year, is that now
You
is the
probably want
time?
to start booking now.
Yeah.
Yep. Before December, everyone starts. Usually, you book now, and everyone's booked up during the spring.
So spring all the way till probably June, July, you're
Mhm.
booked up. And then what's the busiest time of the year for you guys?
Usually April.
April.
Yeah.
That's when everything
That's
starts to happen.
kind of
Kind of
like
thing.
usually kind of you start April, the season starts, and you just start rolling.
Is it because also that's the end of the season for the snow removal? So it's just like it's two seasons meshed
Exactly.
together kind of thing.
Might be exactly
Because normally, like when you're coming in, and the reason why I'm asking this is because when you're coming in, like to the snow, you have that fall
Mhm.
period, right? Like you're not really doing landscaping in the fall, most likely.
We do a lot of cleanups. We do, yeah. It slows down. It slows
Yeah.
down.
but it's mostly slowing down. And then, you got, at least a month or so of just cold, nothing yet, and then the snow starts. So yeah, that makes sense.
Yep.
That makes total sense. So for anybody that's watching, if you really want to book your landscaping, now it's the time to book it for next year. If you want to book your snow removal, also now is the time to book it for next
is.
year too. Not for this season, but for next year. And for when we go to snow removal, what areas of the city? Because again, you don't want to be literally driving to Perth.
Yes.
What
We
areas of
won't
the
go
city
out
would you
there
guys
for
like
snow
to
removal.
operate in?
We try to keep all of our contracts kind of downtown baseline area. So all my contracts right now are baseline to Beechwood. So we kind of all close
Central.
together.
Yeah,
Yes.
Central West, Central East. That's
In
about
the
it.
in the summer, we'll go out to Smith Falls, Perth. We'll go anywhere to do landscaping.
Yeah.
But we wouldn't really.
But
be
that's
able
easy
to.
too, because like you're driving, it's not really like there's no snow on the ground.
Yeah.
There's nothing to hurt. Like there's
Exactly.
no hurdles in your way to get to somebody during the spring
Yeah.
and the summer.
We don't want to make a promise out in Smith Falls and then can't get there because
Correct.
of roads or something.
Correct. No, it makes, well, also like if you're gonna, it's a contract, right? Like you want to have them as close to each other as
Exactly.
possible. I know, for example, on my street, like I've got two companies that deal with the whole neighborhood, and then like they literally fight over which driveway
Very
you're gonna
common.
get.
Yeah.
And the driveways keep flip flopping. One day is yellow, the next day is red.
Ah.
I'm not gonna say names, but that's just the way it is.
Yeah. I've seen those ones.
Yeah, yeah. No, fantastic. Really appreciate you having you here on the podcast, man.
I appreciate
We haven't
you
had a
having me.
landscaper in quite some time, so that makes total sense. And again, letting people know that hey, if you're gonna book your landscaping, now it's the time. Dylan, thank you so much. Dylan Services, really
Thank you,
appreciate it.
Fatty. You're amazing. I'm so grateful, man. Guys, his studio is beautiful. You guys need to get here.
Perfect. Thanks again. Really appreciate it. For people that are watching, if you like what you see, please don't forget to hit the like button. And be sure to hit the subscribe as well too. When you hit the subscribe, what will happen is if you hit the bell icon, you'll get reminders about this show every time it comes out, every new episode. You'll get a little bit reminder, and then you know exactly what's coming up. Anybody who has a business in mind that wants us to interview, this is the place to be. Let us know, and we'll love to bring them on the show. Put it in the comment, and we'll see you soon. Thanks again.